Hey Jeff, thanks for joining me.
Hey Steve, thanks for having me again.
Hey, we are talking about the office market bouncing back as the era of remote work seems to be drawing to a close. We've had major companies like JP Morgan Chase and Amazon calling their workers back to 5 days a week. Certainly, the Trump administration's making news with talks about requiring federal employees to actually be in person at the office. We're seeing demand for office space rise by nearly 40% between 2022 and 2024. That's according to a report from VTS, a commercial real estate management software company. And at this pace, they estimate that national office demand should rebound to pre-pandemic levels in the next 4 years. We've seen rents for premium office space in New York now at all-time highs. And Class A buildings, which have that kind of newer, higher end amenities that are more attractive to workers returning to the office, they've been doing especially well. Um, some of your thoughts in terms of some of the new life and rebound we're seeing in the office market as we're seeing more employees return to the office.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think we own and operate, manage Office, and to be fair, we had always seen that Office had never really died. It changed, it modified. But there's a lot of things that are occurring, especially from the side of the federal government. There is that push for creating efficiency within this new, within the Trump, or I should say President Trump's, his office is trying to create efficiencies in government and get rid of all of the fluff, so to speak. And it makes sense that you want to bring some of those people back to offices. And I think that same sentiment is being felt. To your point, J.P. Morgan's and the rest of those are finding that they're like we've been consistently saying is that having people in the office, even if it's a different feel or format of the office, is where you get that you get that efficiency from people collaborating together, et cetera. But in terms for office and what's going to happen, I think it's going to continue to kind of go back to what it was. And I don't mean what it was in terms for how people are using it. I think there's going to be a change in how people use it. But I think in reality, you're going to see a lot more occupancy than you did before. Um,
Yeah, and just breaking down on a city basis, demand. We've seen good annual growth, except for most cities, except for Boston, Los Angeles. San Francisco, that just became a ghost town, has actually finally seen a significant increase in demand. So it looks like that market finally bottomed out. And New York City kind of stands out as where the recovery's been the strongest. So we've seen different metros go different ways. Um, I still kind of go to some of this. It is a quality of life issue too, where San Francisco. I think one of the reasons it's struggled is just because the quality of life issues you still have in that city, despite it bottoming out. And we've been active in the Miami market. It really doesn't have those same issues and has been much stronger. Um,
yeah,
but no doubt, the return to office is benefiting particularly that Class A segment, but kind of across the board, it's a positive thing.
yeah. I mean, the other side of this is during the last election cycle, there was a probably a bigger halt on what was going to happen until people knew who was going to be going into office. And after the election, from the side of we own and manage it, there is a increase to that we've been seeing in leasing activity. And after the January 20th, it picked up even more. So, I think people were waiting for some positive news before they started really heading back, but and really making sense of heading back to offices as well. So, it's been interesting, but I think the last piece is, there's been a lot of new businesses that have come up out of the ground after the pandemic, and some of those are now getting mature and are needing more office space.
Yeah, and that's, something we follow a little more closely than what you see getting reported in the media because that's usually what's making the high headlines is those Fortune 500 companies like the Amazons and whatnot with the big presences. But we're definitely seeing some movement with some of the smaller, startups, smaller businesses that they still need office space, and there's an
Yeah.
opportunity in that segment too. Okay, Thanks for the insights, Jeff. If you enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't to the YouTube channel. Visit our website, selectfincap.com, and get on our free newsletter and get a look at exclusive commercial real estate investment opportunities. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Steve.